The Raptors fall to the Clippers 127-107. Welcome to Raptors Tonight, live from Real Sports. I'm Randy Irvin, joined by Alvin Williams, Sherman Hamilton, and making his first appearance on the show, Jeff Landicho, the legend. Jeff, if you don't know, started Open Gym with Jeff Rocky, and now he's moved on to working with Masai Ujiri's Giants of Africa. Just, Jeff, before we get going about the game, just give the people what they want. What are you working on now with GOA? Give me a little bit of what your job entails.
Well, with Masai, a big emphasis on just a lot of his outside ventures is storytelling.
Yeah.
Content has always been, has always been a big, emphasis for him. And what we got going on, it's hard to say because there's always something new that we're kind of thinking about. So this year, we just came off the 20th anniversary of GOA. We had a massive festival in Kigali, Rwanda last summer. So right now, we're just thinking about all the new things that we're gonna kind of start working on over the next year. But
what's the hardest part of your job right now?
Nothing really.
All right,
that's a beautiful thing,
That's
right?
great.
We're able to tell. I'm able to continue to tell amazing stories, basketball stories from across the world. These youth in Africa. You can attest to. There's just so much potential within that whole community, that entire continent, and it's just a beautiful thing to be able to continue to tell stories in such a bigger way. Just obviously it all started with the Raptors and Sherman with us back in the day at 307 The Raptors TV, but now to be able to travel across the world. We were just in Paris a couple weeks ago, showcasing some of our amazing photos by Kevin Coolio. There's just tons of stuff going on.
And now you get to sit beside the legend, Alvin Williams. Told me he was your favorite basketball player on the Raptors growing up. So that's pretty cool. It was mine too. Yes. Yes.
I thought you were sucker-free this year. 2024 was supposed to be sucker-free.
So what are you saying about my man?
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying about you.
That's what I'm talking about.
You were supposed to
I
stay
am staying sucker-free.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now I give my man a pound.
You would not have done that. In 2023, you wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a new
What I
man.
walking to?
I'm a new man. I'm a new man. You ain't walking in
It's
this
dark over here, man. It's dark.
All right, let's get into the game a little bit. Sure. When you watch this one from the start, what stuck out to you in the breakdowns for the Raptors?
We saw some elite basketball on the other side.
Yeah.
James Harden's phenomenal. When he's rolling offensively, there's not much you can do with that. I mean, he can score when he wants. He can dictate offense. He can move the ball. And he doesn't just set people up. He hand feeds buckets. They're right at the rim. They're just finished the play. And when you have a player like that that's surrounded by a Paul George, a Kawhi Leonard, and a Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, that's problematic. I mean, where do you go? Who do you stop? How do you consistently stay in front of these guys? Because they can all hurt you in different ways. So this Clipper team is real. It's a tough team to match up with. And they've got it on both sides. I mean, you talk about perimeter D. Can you name 5 better defenders on the perimeter than a Paul George and a Kawhi Leonard? It's a tough team to deal with.
Harden took a lot of heat, Al, when he got traded to the Clippers. They weren't winning any games, and all of a sudden, they're one of the elite teams in the West right now. It's not just the supporting cast. He's still a great player, right? When you watch him, you think that he can get anything he wants.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. But, the criticism that he took, I don't know if it's warranted, I don't know, but his reputation, the way he left Houston, the way he left Brooklyn, the way he left Philadelphia, it's just one of those things. But all in all, when you really look at it, he's a heck of a player, and he knows the game. And you make fun of when he really said, "I am a system. I'm this system," where the game he's dictated to the game analytically, stylistically. Everything, he fits into that mode. So it was times where in Houston, when he was going to the free throw line a lot, then they changed the rules with the swing through and the contact. So he had some struggles adjusting to that, people meeting him at the rim. But today I saw a burst of speed. I saw him slow down, attack the rim, finish at the rim over Scotty Barnes. And the Raptors aren't huge, but Scotty Barnes, that's what he does. He stays on your sides. He blocks your shot from behind or help side. James Harden always manipulated the game, so his knowledge of the game, his IQ, and his ability, and he's in shape. And talking to Dante Jones today, he was saying that he's always in the gym. Always in the gym.
Right.
His work ethic, no matter what. If he goes out, if he's hanging out, whatever, he's in the gym the next morning working out, and he's dedicated to winning.
Right. Sorry, we're getting a special delivery here for the show.
Hey guys,
What do we?
Milk and cookies?
Yeah, someone ordered milk and cookies.
Yeah,
It's for kids. It's for kids.
we talked about this after
and
the show. Sherman's a big milk and cookies guy. So we
Was
wanted
a
to-
big milk and cookies.
Is.
No, you
It
said,
is
you, said
a
you
big-
still like milk and cookies.
Past
And I said that was for kids.
Past tense.
Oh, so you don't like milk and cookies anymore?
Oh, that's for kids.
These are still warm. Chef, what do we got here? What do we got
so
here?
This is something we're doing at Real Sports.
Yeah.
It's
wanna
spring
spill
rolls
it.
with ground pork and vegetables.
Okay.
Something a little bit like a lumpia. And then on the side is going to be a sweet chili sauce.
All right,
Okay.
awesome.
Enjoy.
Okay,
Smells
thank you very
good.
much.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Smells good.
that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate you.
Anybody want to try? They're right here.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
You got your cookies.
Got your cookies.
I'm gonna eat
Trying to
those.
tie
I'm
this
gonna,
up,
I'm gonna
man.
eat those for sure.
That was good. That was a good one. That was a good one.
What'd you say?
You gotta have this done by the end of
You
the
got to
show.
eat that,
For
man.
sure, for
You got to
sure.
dip your cookies in the milk.
There is zero chance that I will do anything with these milk and cookies. Anything.
Producer Chris brought them out for you. You're just gonna
There's zero chance.
zero chance.
Zero.
Okay. All right. All right.
Those look good.
Speaking of chances, Jeff,
All yours.
when you when you watch the Clippers, this team have a chance to win it all. Are they there?
With the West, it's hard to say, but everyone questioned if it was going to work, right?
Yeah.
When James came on, and it's just they're all at a point now in their careers where they all want to make that sacrifice to make it work. It just looks like, and they've just now found that groove. And like Sherman was saying, like they're just taking turns out there, and whenever they feel a certain way. A flow in the game, they're just going to go in that direction and attack the weaknesses. And it's hard to see a team beating them in 7 games. So yeah, I definitely feel like if they can stay healthy, obviously they have a chance.
Well, think about this. What do you need for a championship team? You need good coaching.
Milk,
They've got a great coach.
cookies.
You need to be able to defend. They can defend. They have some size when Zubac is in. They're a different team with their front court. On the perimeter, you can not defend all of those guys with one player. You're going to have to send a second defender, and the best teams get the rotation because of that. They have everything they need to win a championship, and we all know that everybody defers to Kawhi when it's playoff time. When the chips are down, I don't care if you're Paul George, James Harden, you know Kawhi's the guy.
And I think he knows that too because
He's always
he's
known
playing the way
Yeah, he's always known.
like he's not really. He's letting it come to him,
Just
right?
got 3 years, 153.
Yeah.
He knows more ways than one.
Yeah. Do you think they can win it all?
The only reason I'm hesitant is because we've seen James Harden sometimes falter in the playoffs. We've seen Paul George at times. Kawhi Leonard's health. Like some of those things sometimes, the history it shows. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen them all together at that point, but they have the pieces. I mean, they have what it takes. And also, like you said, it's your turn, my turn, but it's not so obvious. Before it was your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. Now it's James Harden orchestrated. Now it's your turn. I'll tell you when it's your turn. It's not you coming down the floor deciding. I'm gonna decide, and then when I wanna get involved in the party, then I'm gonna get involved with the party, but I'm gonna get everyone involved. So now, I just wanna see how those guys sustain that, if they can sustain it, because playoffs is a different beast.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing to me is T. Lue. T. Lue putting those pieces together, have them sacrificing, have them believing, and put it, like, he doesn't get enough credit. When you talk about top coaches in the NBA, he doesn't get enough credit. If he's not the top, he's one of the top coaches
for sure.
in the NBA.
For sure.
Jeff, when you're watching Scotty Barnes, obviously the Raptors have made this.
Can I get a piece? Can I get a cookie?
Yeah, you
Get
want
all
it?
of
Yeah.
They soft?
Oh,
Oh,
soft. For sure.
They soft, dog.
Just bangling the cookie. Just take the whole thing. You're going to eat the whole thing
Hey,
anyway.
just have your milk.
That's what you get. That's
Hey, my
exactly
God,
what
fill
you
in my
get.
salad.
Cookies wasn't your thing on the plane?
Yeah, that was your thing on the plane.
They're for kids, I heard. I've grown up. I've matured.
Jeff, when you're watching defenses, game plan around Scotty Barnes, what are you seeing recently now that he is like the focal point of this offense, this franchise going forward?
I think, especially now with them so short-handed, obviously he's going to draw so much attention. But with Scotty, I feel like there's these moments where he just settles, and it's, and then he has these moments where he just turns it on. Like when he puts his back to the basket, like
Can't stop it.
90% of the time, something good is going to happen.
Yeah.
So just like in the fourth quarter there, he really imposed his will. And no matter if there's doubles coming, he's going to find a positive outcome. Either still, he's got such a great touch around the rim, but he's going to find somebody, right? So regardless of what type of defenses that they're throwing at him, he's going to make something good happen, as long as he's aggressive.
The greatest players impose their will all game long, right? When you're talking about guys like Kobe Bryant, you're talking about guys like MJ, even Russell Westbrook when he was, the MVP and averaging triple-double. Like these guys, they don't take plays off, right?
They're elite. I mean, there's a consistency to an elite level that they play with. And that's part of, they know what the expectation is, but it's also them wanting that situation, them wanting those moments.
Right.
And, there's great players, and we can all attest to this, that they play great in moments. And what separates the greatest players is that they seem to be playing great in most of the moments that we see. And I think, Scotty as a young player, we're seeing moments where he looks great. He doesn't look good, he looks great. And then there are moments that you see him kind of lay back. So he's going to learn, he's going to continue to grow, and he's going to figure it out. But there's no question that you see the fundamentals and the basis of a kid that can really, really dominate at times. And as he continues to grow, and this is where you hope losing doesn't impact people, because it's not going to be the season they want it to be. But if he can stay who he is and stay true to the game that he knows he can play, this kid is going to be really special.
And I think it's also important to be fair to Scotty. He's not a scorer. He's
Right.
not a guy that has the scoring bone in his body where he say, no matter what, I'm a scorer.
Right.
He's a facilitator that can score. So when he's playing the game where we may think he's just being passive, he may be making an extra pass. He may be getting other people involved, and then he's recognizing the times. So he has to find that balance and understand. One day you hear he's the point guard. Next day you want him to be the dominant player scoring. Next day he has to improve his three. I think it's important for us to just let him grow as a player.
Yeah.
Biggest part what Sherm just said is not allowing losing to impact his development. Right now I got him for like most improved player because he's improved his game. But you cannot, and that's the sensitivity when you have a team and you're resetting and you're retooling, to make sure you understand and you still develop their culture and understand that the direction you're going into. I've seen it before, and before you have great players, or very talented, or players with potential fall into a losing environment, and you can't have that. You got to continue to coach, you got to continue to hold them accountable and make sure that he develops his hand.
He loves to pass. You see him on 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s. He's always giving
He's
it
a
up,
passer.
right? Yeah. So that.
But that's going to open up his one-on-one opportunities, because as soon as you have the respect of passing, now teams aren't going to double you. So when you're a James Harden and you're playing with a lot of talent, a double come, I'm going to pass it. So guess what? They're not going to double you. So now you have your one-on-one opportunities. You just heard Joel Embiid after he scored 70 points. He told Coach Brett Brown, I'm learning to pass now. So yeah, he's scoring more because you can't double him.
Right.
So Nick Nurse keeps him in the middle of the floor, or when the double comes, he passes it. Now they can't double because they got outside shooting, so now he has one-on-one opportunities.
Right,
And you
right.
can't stop him. He's too good.
Right. Jeff, let's talk about RJ Barrett. He had another 20-plus game tonight, 8th time in 13 games with the Raptors. With the Knicks in 25 games, he had it 10 times. So the ratio is better. What are you seeing offensively that's different as a Raptor, than as a Knick? Decision making?
Yeah, he's obviously got a little bit more freedom, but his
Yeah.
decision making has gotten gradually better over the last couple weeks.
Right.
He's so aggressive, and I love that about him. Like, you need a bucket, and he's going to put his head down and try to get to the rim. Now, at times, he's going to try to get through three guys and maybe commit a turnover or a bad shot. But I feel like his decision making is pretty key for him. Once he's able to really pick his spots,
Yeah.
and attack at the right moments, I think it's going to really reveal like just a bigger game for him and a bigger opportunity for him. But yeah, I love what I'm seeing. Hopefully the jumper that Jay starts knocking down, and that will really open things up for him as well.
What'd you think of Grady Dick's minutes tonight, Sherman?
I like what I see. There's positive minutes out there. He plays hard. You can see that he's not afraid of the challenge. And it was interesting. I mean, I thought he should have got the benefit of the whistle a bit more tonight. However, he didn't stop doing what he was doing. He eventually was able to draw a charge. But you can see offensively that he's not just a guy who needs to stand in the corner and shoot the ball. He can put the ball on the floor a bit and attack. He knows how to, and this time, sometimes this is underrated to me. He knows how to make the next pass. He doesn't try to do too much with it. He just moves the ball at time, and that simplicity helps his game. But I just like what I see from him because he's taking advantage of moments. He's making enough plays, and you're seeing development. Although it's incremental, you're seeing development in his game.
Right. All right, let's pause it there for now and do the fan of the night. Let's welcome in Cecilio Ortiz Luis. Cecilio, where are you at? Bring it in, man. How are you? Come on, have a seat.
Thank you.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you
Got
guys?
some spring rolls in front of you. You gonna have one?
Maybe in a bit,
Maybe in a
man.
bit.
It's part of the blood.
What's it called?
Lumpia.
Lumpia. All right, I like
Just
that.
like Mama used to make.
Yeah, that's right. You got a question or comment for the panel, the guys?
absolutely. So, with the trade deadline coming up, what additions would you guys make to the roster going forward to, kind of help the development here?
Ooh, that's a good question. Sherm, you
I'll
want to
defer
start?
to Sherm.
Yeah.
You can't defer to me. I am not a trade dude. When the trade happens, I'll talk about it. But as of right now, I am not a trade dude.
Yeah.
I'm
A lot
not
of times with the trade, it depends on where your organization is, where your franchise is, and what direction you want to go in. And if you feel like I can get a piece out there now to help us get to where we want to get to, or is it something long term? So, I mean, unless you can go out there and go get Luka or Joel Embiid or something like that. I mean, right now where you are, you have players that you feel like you can build around.
Right.
And I think now it's about developing assets, getting assets, and making sure you have some versatility and flexibility within your payroll and your roster where you can make a move when it's time to make the right move. You can't just sometimes the best deals are the deals that aren't made at all. So you got to have the flexibility to make the right move in order to continue to go forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the Pascal trade happening, it's definitely, Masai definitely made his intentions clear on trying to get the roster to become younger and, trying to push the development here. So it's, I guess, to your point, it kind of is about the moves that aren't made in a sense.
Yeah.
But, if the opportunity presents itself, then, you definitely...
Well, I also want to see what this team looks like with Pirtle in the lineup, right? Like with Quickly, RJ, Scotty, and Pirtle. Like, Jeff, what do you think? What do you think he's going to bring with those guys?
Well, you saw the first few games. They looked really good. There was a nice chemistry. IQ and Pirtle had a nice two-man game going on. So yeah, I really feel like he would change a lot. It'll be interesting to see what he brings when he comes back. But they haven't looked cohesive over the last since I feel like since Bruce got here. I feel like everyone's still is really searching to find their way and their spots on the floor and when and where to attack.
So you blaming Bruce?
I'm not blaming.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
My bad.
pinpointing a time.
No, I thought you said they look good, and then when Bruce got here, they just don't look good anymore.
No,
I thought that's what you said.
It ain't
My
about
bad.
Bruce.
You
Because
know
it was
what?
the combination of the
You know what?
injury and
Yeah, my bad. My
you
bad.
start to really respect, I think, what Jakob Pirtle is capable of, right, Sherman?
especially on a young team.
Yeah.
A lot of perimeter play. You need a veteran, a guy who understands how to anchor the defense on the back line. And another thing that Jakob does very well is he handles the ball well offensively. You can throw it to him, you can run splits, you can run some pin down action, and Jakob can deliver the pass. He's a good screen setter, and he'll roll to the basket, he'll short roll. So his complete game is something that they could use because on both sides of the ball, he's going to have impact, and he's going to have positive impact.
Yeah.
He's a bigger version of Thaddeus Young. Like Thaddeus Young does all the same things. Thaddeus Young, you saw tonight when he had Daniel Tice on him on the perimeter, he blew by him. But Thaddeus, they make those passes. They got a great IQ to dribble handoff, attack the offensive glass. But Pirtle's just bigger, and he can defend those guys.
I think over the last couple of games, you've definitely seen it too on the boards.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
No, for sure.
There's a lot of second, third opportunities for the opponents to where if you had that big man on the floor, a rebound would have been made and the offense would have pushed forward.
Yeah.
But you got two guys on Plumlee at some points, and Plumlee's just able to tip it in because there just isn't the big man there to really stop him.
Right, right. You ready to spin for a prize?
Yeah, let's do
shoot
it.
for that prize.
right.
Cecilio, let's go. Let's go to the wheel. What are you hoping for on there?
Oh, we're always hoping for the tickets, man.
We're always hoping for the tickets, for sure. Get in there. Give it a good spin. Not gonna lie to you, I don't have the basketball. Don't get the basketball. All right. And if you get the basketball, we're gonna do a good spin. The hat's not bad. All right, you gotta shoot for it now. Come to the line, Give it a little jump shot here. You don't have to jump, it's pretty soon. I will probably sign that for you. Hey, oh, close. We'll get it going again.
We'll get it going? All right.
Thanks, Marky.
He missed.
Did that?
Hit that. No, he's got second shot.
Oh, that was just absolutely airball, man.
Well, let's pretend that one didn't happen, and we'll just keep it going here. There it is. Hey, good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Here's your hat. Just anything you want to say to anybody watching at home? A little shout out.
Yeah, sure. Shout out to Micah. Love
Yeah, the
you.
first.
Shout out to my parents,
That over the
sister,
backboard.
brother-in-law,
That's
my
right.
nephew Shabby.
Do you love them? Because you just said love Micah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I
good.
love every
Just
single
wanna
one of them.
Make sure. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
worries,
you, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you. Thanks for coming on.
All right, my man. Take
I
care.
will sign that hat if you need it signed.
By all means.
Yeah. We'll get
Unfortunately,
it.
I don't have a pen on
We'll
me.
get you a Sharpie after the show, for sure. For
sounds
sure.
good.
Thanks, buddy. I just gave your signature away. Sorry about that.
Anybody
Stuff,
want
dog.
a ticket, man?
Yeah, somebody wanted to take it.
Really?
Yeah. They're back up there because they were.
Thank you, man. It's like the old school. Can we see that grown men eat cookies and milk? It's not a
Did you
kid
dip
thing
it?
anymore.
You can dip that.
Well, he
all the way?
already knocked one out, and he's actually.
So wait, do you
I got
when you were
allergies.
having them? Were you dipping them, or do you eat the
Way
cookie?
back in the day.
Or you
No,
eat the
I
cookie
eat
and then
the
drink the
cookie,
milk?
drink the milk.
What?
I wasn't a dipper.
Not a dipper.
No, you sound like you're offended.
But I thought that's the whole point of having the milk, is to dip it.
So there's more than one way to cook chicken, right?
Are you a dipper?
He's about
Come on,
to show
host.
you.
Host the show, man.
Are you
Come on,
a
man. Leave me and my cookie alone.
Don't get the internet mad tonight. Let's do a little overtime. Let's talk about the scoring again. Obviously, we had those two big games last week, and then it happened again. Luka Doncic, 73 in a 5-point win over the Hawks tonight. Devin Booker, 62 in a loss to the Pacers. Deech, I'll start with you. Do you like this basketball, this brand of basketball? Are you a big fan of this? 143 to 138.
It's I guess it's entertaining. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, right? So
Same with Sherm.
I know it's great to witness, elite talent, right? And on display and being able to see such remarkable athletes do their thing. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Keeps grabs attention and attention to the game, and it's pretty remarkable the last few days, the scoring outputs.
Yeah.
So who knows where this is going to go?
Is this more of a byproduct of the game changing, the players being better, or a combination of the two with the three-point line?
I won't say players are better. Rule change, the element of the game analytically,
Yeah.
the style has changed. More possessions, it's a faster game. Defense is totally taken out the game.
Yeah.
I mean, like people say statistically and rules and stuff, but the mindset of a defensive player, the competitive nature of a player when someone is scoring or a team constantly scores on you, the first thought is to get it back on the offensive end. And the makeup when we grew up, in order to get a shot, in order to get free reign offensively, you had to play defense. In order to play defense, you gotta hold yourself accountable. You gotta take pride. And yeah, players are very, very good. So a great defensive player is not gonna stop a great offensive player. But I think as a whole, the emphasis on defense is hidden by the production on offense. No one really cares about defense until you need it.
Yeah,
I think it's official. Defense is a rumor in the NBA. And understanding that, if you can release that, you can understand and appreciate this brand of basketball. But there's no question that teams are not preaching, teaching, with emphasis, the defensive side of the basketball. And you could see this coming years ago when you saw that defenses were geared towards rotation. They took the emphasis off on-ball defense and dealt with rotations, and you downed people, you sent them to the corner, and all of a sudden now it was about how did you rotate into that and out of it. Once you take the responsibility off the primary defender, you have now said that stopping the ball with one person is not how you're going to get it done. You're going to need a rotation. You're going to need backside action. You're going to need X crossing out to get out to shooters and all of that. And then look at the three-point line. You're being taught to fly by people.
Yeah.
So these guys are too good. All they do is hit you with that sidestep and stay on the three-point line. Before, when you chased the guy off the three-point line, he went forward towards the basket. They're like, no, we're just going to sidestep, clear dribble, and we're going to pull it to the side and still get a three. So you're going to score a lot of points in those scenarios. And as good as these guys are, the elite players, we're going to see more of these type of games consistently.
All right, it was Filipino Heritage Night at the arena tonight, and before we end the show, I just want to give a big shout out to Maverick Batista. Maverick is the founder and owner of Mavs Phenomenal Basketball, which provides elite training to thousands of kids and youth all over the Philippines. Mavs high-intensity camps are not just about skill development, they're also about helping players learn how to overcome their fears and reach their potential as human beings. Here's a great quote: "You have yourself, you have you, and for as long as you believe in yourself, you are complete." So from all of us here at Raptors Tonight, keep up the great work, Mav. Mavs Phenomenal Basketball is active on social media, so be sure to check it out. Check out their impressive videos. All right, next game for the Raptors, Sunday against the Atlanta Hawks. Tip-off goes at 6 p.m. Eastern. The Raptors Tonight will go live on YouTube shortly after the game. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.